to Quiz Corner with Kiota Gaming, and we've got another boxing related one to coincide with the doing a 360 Fight Night Champion series that I'm currently releasing and running at the moment. I'm not too sure when these are coming out, but you don't know when I'm recording it, so no one's none the wiser. We'll keep it that way. So today's quiz is, we're taking the quiz to find out which boxer we could knock out. Okay, great graphics there of Creed and of Rocky Balboa, both wearing Apollo Creed's original. Well, Creed's kind of wearing them, I guess, but Rocky's wearing the original Apollo Creed shorts there. So going 12 rounds with a championship class boxer can take a serious toll on a regular person's health and mental capacity. Yeah, I'd say so. Even going a single round with a true great is borderline impossible for someone without boxing training, as it all takes is one punch from a guy like Iron Mike Tyson for us normal folks' brains to get turned into jelly. Yep, something I nearly found out to my misfortune. Thankfully for those of us who want to experience the thrill of boxing without actually well boxing, popular culture has created a handful of classic movies, TV shows and video games about the sport, the best of which can make us feel like we're part of action. Of course, not everyone is necessarily going to identify with Rocky Balboa or Maggie Fitzgerald on a personal level. Maggie Fitzgerald, is that Million Dollar Baby? Is that the one? Compelling and universal as their stories may be, that doesn't make it any less fun to watch the films they appeared in, but it does mean audiences looking for fictional boxers as a stand-in for their own lives need to seek these results elsewhere, or get into YouTube boxing. Luckily there are plenty of options for that, and as usual ready to help you find one just for you. For those looking to go a few rounds against the champ without ever actually hitting the ring, keep reading to take our quiz and find out which fictional boxer you have the most in common with. So are you a fan, question 1, are you a fan of real boxing? It's a little too violent, it's okay, sure if the fight is good, yeah I love it. Back in the day I would have said yeah I love it, now I'm not quite so up on it, I don't know quite as much as I used to, and I don't really feel as much for many of the fighters as I used to. There used to be some real characters, that sort of stuff, not so much anymore. So I'm going to go sure if the fight is good. If it's a good fight I'll watch it. The last one I watched was Chisora and Dylan White. It was alright, I guess. It was one of the bigger ones I guess recently. So I try and watch those. The pub around the corner for me shows them, which is good to know now. I didn't know that before until I do now. For some audiences, the main appeal boxing movie, the real deal is that no one's actually getting hurt. I mean, I'm not quite sure about that. Try telling who is it, the guy who played Michael B. Jordan? Try telling me Michael B. Jordan that, because I can't remember who's the guy who's the baddie in the film in that one. I can't remember his name. The Scouse guy, the one who fought David Hay. His name's totally escaped me. I'll get it in a minute. He got knocked out, I think, by him. Tony Bellew, I think, knocked him out in the warm up or one of the scenes or something. And the real sport can be outrageously violent and even deadly, causing many to turn away when it's on their TV screens. Is that the case with you? No, not at all. Who is your favourite real boxer? Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, or Mike Tyson? Oh, it's a tough one. I like Mike Tyson and I like Muhammad Ali. Out of those four, which boxers might have the more compelling stories per capita? Plenty of real pugilists are equally entertaining and exciting in their own right. That shouldn't be surprising, as some of the best fake boxers were directly based on real ones. Who's your favourite of these legends? So Rocky Marciano was obviously where the inspiration for Rocky come from. Not just because of the name, I think it just was. Layla Ali, was that the $1 Million Baby maybe? I don't know. And Ali and Mike Tyson, not sure what fictional ones have come from them, but ooh, Ali or Tyson? I mean, you've got to go maybe with Ali just for the lines and stuff he used to come out with, the stuff he used to say and come out with. We'll go with Muhammad Ali, I think. Which weight class are you in? No disputing it, heavyweight. Weight class in boxing can be somewhat confusing, largely because there are so many of them, and the deviations are usually only about 5 to 7 pounds or less. Save people the time of looking it up, keep in mind these options are from smallest to largest, and do your best. Yeah, heavyweight. And it's got to say, heavyweight probably wasn't what I used to enjoy watching. Middleweight is what I used to enjoy watching most. Steve Collins, Eubank, I think they were middleweight, I'm pretty sure. Not Lennox Lewis, Nigel Benn, all those guys. Yeah, that's the ones I used to enjoy watching more. But obviously the heavyweight, I did see Bruno, Tyson, Holyfield, Foreman, all those guys. I had a lot of the boxing games back in the 90s as well, like Snares and Mega Drive and stuff. Aside from pro boxing, for which profession are you best suited? Entertainment, cashier, medicine, another form of athletics? Well, none of those really. Chances are average person takes quiz not in fact trained to be one day the star of a huge fight on HBO or Showtime. Instead, you're probably busy working towards some other goal in whatever profession you actually pursue. Which of these fields is closest to yours? in a way, although I'm not trained to be a doctor, it doesn't say doctor, it just says medicine. There is something on the horizon in the medicine world coming up that I might be pursuing soon. So I'd go with that. Just not entertainment. Cashier, my maths is terrible. And athletics, no, not at all. Question 5, do you consider yourself funny? Yeah, I'm absolutely hilarious. My friends would say I'm hilarious, I'm sure. The main goal of their job being to punch other people in the face, boxers don't necessarily need to have winning personalities to succeed. Then again, a funny pre-match press conference can get loads of attention and lead to a huge buy rate. Could you win over fans with your jokes? I reckon I could. I'm normally quite quick-witted when I need to be. It's when I'm thinking about stuff and trying to plan stuff, it's maybe not quite so, but off-the-cuff comments, that sort of stuff. When I'm with my mates particularly, we're having a few beers, whatever, normally come out with some spurious comments, and yeah. So maybe a little in the right scenario. Question 6, where would you go on vacation? A fancy casino, a foreign country, stay home, or a cabin with the family? That's going to be a rocky one, isn't it? Everyone needs a vacation after a hard day's work because for a boxer that mostly consists of getting punched by an extremely strong opponent, they may need to R&R more than anyone else. Of course, the winners have the money to pay for it, so where would you go? Foreign country, somewhere warm, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say that's probably what we'd do. And that one says with the family, but that doesn't say it doesn't have to be with the family. It doesn't say it's on your own, so yeah, foreign country with the family. Have you ever been in trouble with the law? Surprisingly, no. Never. I'm on the straight and narrow. Yes, but not anything serious. Yep, more times than I can count. Angry, violent, and contentious people by nature, maybe it isn't what surprising a decent number of boxers have found themselves in legal trouble at some point or another. Several of the best boxers in history even saw their championship reigns abated due to jail time. Have you ever been arrested? Nope, straight and narrow. The odd little clip around the ear as a kid, but nothing more than that. Question 8. What type of home would you prefer to live in? A simple apartment, a modest house, a giant mansion, a deluxe apartment in the sky. Okay, the most successful boxers make millions of dollars every fight and thus can easily buy whatever home they could possibly want. Of course, the type of domicile that spells perfection is different for most people. In what kind of household do you want to live? At the moment, modest house. If I was fighting and boxing and all that, earning that sort of money, I wouldn't go for the deluxe apartments. A giant mansion, a bit of everything, nice bar, nice swimming pool, games room, all that sort of stuff. Games room for all my retro collection. Like, I've got plans in my head when I make it. That I know what it's going to be, what rooms I'm going to have. So yeah, giant mansion. Question 9: are you married or in a relationship? No, I dedicate my life to fighting. No, I don't have time for that. Yes, I have lots of flings. Yes, I'm happily married. Happily married now for coming up to 4 years. I'll go with that. Despite a hard exterior, that's pretty much inevitable. Making a living out of punching people. Many boxers nonetheless desire happy, normal lives filled with love, romance, and a family. Of course, this lifestyle for everyone. Is it for you? Always kicking butt, all you care about. No, happily married. Let's go with that one. Who's your favourite Rocky villain? Clubber Lang, Ivan Drago, Apollo Creed, or Mason Dixon? It's hard. Mason Dixon, no. I enjoyed Balboa, but it wasn't the best film. Clubber Lang is great at number 3. He's a great character, great personality in it. Ivan Drago is probably Rocky 4 is my favourite Rocky, so tough. But 1 and 2, Apollo Creed in them as well. It's just Carl Weathers is just amazing in that role. Okay, so a whole lot more to boxing movies than just Rocky. Have a think with 6 major films and an incredibly quick spin-off, it's easy to say who the hero of the sport has been in the silver screen. Then again, his rival always took a lot of the spotlight too. I'm gonna go with Ivan Drago. He probably wasn't as entertaining as Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed. Mason Dixon was alright, but he was just, the Cold War story, the Cold War part of it, the drugs, all that sort of stuff, the cheating, the killing of Apollo, all that sort of stuff, the physical strength and brute raw power of him, and that sort of stuff. It's got to be Ivan Drago. That's Punch Out, isn't it? Is that little Mickey, or what's his name? What's his name? Anyway, no boxer has managed to get all the way to the top on their own. Every great pugilist needed little assistance and guidance on the way, constantly looking to their trainers and managers for direction. Which boxing guru would you want to train under? Doc Louis, I don't know who that is. Frankie Dunn, I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Lucius Sweet, I think is he the Don King's spin-off of The Simpsons? I don't know. Doc Louis, one of these might be him from Punch Out. I'm not too sure, but it's supposed to be from Silver Screen, so I don't think so. Lucius Sweet, I can't remember, but we're gonna go with Mickey from Rocky. It's got to be. It's the only one I know for a start, for sure. Which boxing movie is your favourite? The Fighter, $1 Million Baby, Creed, or Rocky? Now, I only just recently watched The Fighter, and I had it on DVD for years, and I just never got around to watching it. It's an amazing film. Christian Bale, I think that is, isn't it? Like, incredible as the heroin, what is it, the druggy former champion. Is it Wahlberg? Is it Wahlberg, or I think it's Wahlberg. I forget the faces. Absolutely great in that role. It's a great film, absolutely great film, but it's going to be Rocky for me. There's more to boxing in pop culture than movies, but which appears on the big screen in theatres always the biggest role in how we look to view the subject. Of course, with how these diverse boxing movies can be, film nonetheless has a variety of takes of pugilism. Yeah, it's going to be Rocky for me. Always has been. Plans are with one of my mates who's the same, just to watch all, well, what is it now, 5, 6, 7 films plus the 2 Creeds, 9 movies in a marathon. I don't know when we'll get a chance to ever do that, but maybe sometime. Question 13, what type of clothing do you wear? Well, neither of those suits for sure. Inside the ring, boxers dress light for the occasion of fighting. When the fight's over though, they can wear whatever they want, and most have the means to do so. With unlimited resources and no restrictions on clothing style, what would you choose to wear? Gym shorts and a tank top no matter what, all the hottest fashions, whatever's lying around, I try to look professional. I mean, just casually, it will be not gym shorts and a tank top, but it'll be like a t-shirt and shorts or joggers or something. When does it mean? I mean, try to look professional. I'm not going to wear a suit all the time, that's just not the fact. Probably go the casual route, I have to say. Question 14, are you close with your family? Dedicating their whole lives to punching and crap out of people, boxers aren't generally seen as warm, friendly individuals with close loving families. That said, a few of them actually happen to be just that, happily going home to sit around the dinner table after the closing bell rings. No, we don't get along, not at all, it's pretty violent. I don't have a family. Yes, family's everything. Yeah, family's everything. Also got my wife and daughter living with me, very close to my parents, her family. My extended family, most of them, a lot. It's such a huge, vast family, my mum's side in particular. Don't see all of them all the time, but you know, always good to catch up, and Christmas and stuff is always a good time for that sort of stuff, and St Patrick's Day as well, being Irish. Coming up soon actually, so got to start planning that actually, what's going to be happening. Question 15, are you good at trash talk? Never had to really do it. I mean, we banter with mates and stuff, and there's stuff off the cuff that comes up, so I'd say probably. Aside from the actual fight, it could be argued that the most important part of a boxer's job is trash talk. Psyching out an opponent before the bell can make it all that much easier to knock them out, but it also runs risks. Are you good enough to try anyway? No, I'm pretty respectful. If I get properly fired up, I let my fist do the talking, definitely, and I'll eat your children if you disagree. I think that's a Mike Tyson one, isn't it? About eating children. I'd say if I get properly fired up, that sounds like you're getting overly heated and reacting. That's probably not the best. That means their trash talk has got to you. But we'll go with it anyway. It's the most likely one of them. Question 16. What expensive item would you buy after winning the big purse? If a boxer has a high enough profile, they can potentially earn upwards of $1 million simply for punching one person 2 or 3 times. With this much or less if you Joe Weller. With this much money, it's extremely tempting to splurge on things only the wealthy can afford. What would you buy? I'd put it in the bank, a gigantic mansion, a fancy sports car, a gift for my trainer. Gigantic mansion first of all, the rest can follow. I probably would give a gift to my trainer first actually, and then the stuff would follow, but for this purpose I'm going to go with the gigantic mansion. Somewhere to live, get the family treated. The family would get treated first actually. Question 17, what movie genre do you like the most? While boxing movies are mostly about world boxing, most of them can run the emotional gamut and feature multiple genres within their story about fighting. Fans of boxing movies can therefore be fans of just about anything. Which genre do you prefer, whether it involves punching or not? Comedy and action, but comedy is always going to get my vote, I think. I love anything that can make me laugh is going to go a long way with me. Question 18, what's your biggest weakness as a fighter? Nobody's perfect, and every great championship fighter inevitably faces the day they wind up flat on their back, knocked out cold and unconscious, unable to get up off the mat. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you often, but sooner or later it inevitably will. What might cause your downfall? Inexperience, no passion, small size, tired quickly. At the moment, probably tired quickly and inexperience between those two. At the moment, obviously no passion either because I'm not involved in it. Small size, absolutely not. I'd go with inexperience would be the most one. I'd probably get caught with something before because of experience than getting tired too quickly. Wouldn't get that far. Question 19, do you consider yourself patriotic? As an individual on one sport, whenever boxers in two competing countries square off, it feels like an international battle for respect. That said, not every boxer is necessarily patriotic, and some won't even care about the flag they fight for in the slightest. Do you? Yeah, I'd probably wear it. Depends whether I'm wearing the flag of England / Britain or Ireland. Ireland extremely, I love my country. But I mean, I do obviously love England as well. But I'm not gonna put down the country I was, raised in and whatever, born in and raised in. But family were all Irish, so torn between the two. Question 20: Do you end fights early or wear your opponent out? Ultimately, it doesn't matter if a boxing match lasts 30 seconds or 12 rounds. The winner is still the winner, and the losers, always suffer the agony of defeat. However, there is a prestige in a speedy knockout, so it definitely perks it into doing things quick. I'd like to think if I put my mind to it, I'd have a nice bit of power. I've got a good frame, as long as the training is right and the skill level is brought up to right. I think I could train for the power. We'd go for the quick knockout. Not to say we wouldn't, whatever leads to a win. If you had to drag them out, maybe you would, but I'd like to think I could train more for the short, quick bursts. And then question 21: What's your greatest skill as a boxer? Butterbean, legend, knocking out Johnny Knoxville in the department store. Okay, so we have a weakness, but in order to become a boxing superstar, you're also going to need a few dozen strengths, as well. It should go without saying these are more important than your thoughts, as the downsides won't even matter if you can win fast enough. So what's your greatest skill? Knockout punch, humility, never give up, incredibly resilient. A few of those there are Rocky based. Resilient and humility, never giving up in particular springs to mind. I'd go with knockout punch because I think, again, like I say, got the frame there, put the right training in, put the right bulk in, bang, lights out, ceiling job. Question 22: What's your favourite sports aside from boxing? Boxing is plenty of fun in the right circumstances, but the fights only last a few minutes, happening every couple of months, and the violence factor can't be ignored. For those reasons, fans might prefer following a different form of politics altogether. Do you? I'm going to assume that means American football. I'm going to assume it does. Back in the day, I used to love tennis. Again, same as boxing. Not many characters that I like in it anymore. I do enjoy watching basketball actually, so I'm going to go with that. I do like watching American football as well, to be fair. I did watch the Super Bowl, I loved it. We'll go with basketball. Probably something you're likely to find me watching a bit more. Question 23: Which of the following fighting games is your favourite? For those of us without the strength of actually getting in the ring and fight, we'll have to settle on fighting games either inside the arcades or on our home consoles. There's no reason to stick exclusively to boxing either, considering the world of fighting games are more creative. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I loved that on the NES back in the day. Never played Def Jam. Mortal Kombat, I never really got into. My mate had it. I never had Sega. I had Nintendo, so it was on Nintendo as well, but it was blood turned off. It wasn't as good. I love Street Fighter 2. I remember going down the arcade after school, cab office or kebab shop, one or two, maybe both. Getting my pocket money in there every day, going in there, playing a couple of times, winner stays on, doing quite well. We'll go with Street Fighter, and Guile was my choice, generally. Question 24: What type of music is your favourite? Nothing's better than getting people hyped for a workout than big fight than music. Making what a boxer's into surprisingly important element in their career. Pick the wrong pre-match song, you might be in the wrong mindset for the entire match. What would you go with? Hip hop and rock would be the choice, I'd say. For a fight, I think there's a certain amount of hip hop that would get me going, but a lot of it isn't hype. For me, it isn't hyping. Rock can really get the blood flowing. Something like Ace of Spades, something like that. Something real high tempo, high energy. Really angry kind of angry music. I guess I'd go with rock. I'd say. Question 25: What colour would your trunks be? Under the heat of the lights and with exertion required by boxing, the average pugilist gets extremely hot during a given fight and thus dresses light for the occasion. Still, even confined to just shorts and a robe, boxers manage to show those personality in their clothes. Green, the Irish relation there. Question 26: What food would you eat to prepare for a big fight? Knowing how many questions are there? Knowing they're about to face someone trying to beat them into oblivion, boxers consider the final thing they eat before a big fight as the last meal of sorts. This means eating their absolute favourites to prepare for the worst. What would you carbo load with? Before the fight, I guess it'd be something light. Opponent's children, Tyson again. Something filled with carbs, whatever trainer puts in front of me. I mean, you probably put whatever your trainer puts in front of you, I guess, but I'd probably try and keep it light before the fight. You don't want to be too stodgy and weighed down and bloaty. Do you consider yourself an underdog? Rising back up on their feet, having done the time and taking chances, underdog stories have always been the most popular in all of boxing lore. Something about that little bit of hope when our backs against the ropes, everything feels audiences worldwide. Does your story fit this pattern? No way, I'm the unstoppable champion. Nah, I win more than I lose. Kind of depending on my opponent. Definitely no one thinks I can win. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair representation of how I would be going into any boxing fight right about now. Question 28. Have you ever done hard drugs? Daring to resist the temptation of drugs can be extremely hard in today's world, but boxers especially need to avoid this fate and stay clean to keep their bodies in perfect shape. Not all of them have though, and some even use their wins to fund drug habits. Would you? Nope, never wanted to. Smart on that combination. Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Question 29. Are you friendly and outgoing? Getting paid to beat their opponents in living boxers are probably perceived as some of the least friendly humans in the world. This isn't necessarily the case though, as they can be very nice and friendly with fans and anyone else they aren't given money to fight. Coming into a little bit of one of the other quizzes I'm thinking of doing soon, I'm quite friendly. I'm friendly to people that know me and like me. If people are randomly coming up to me and stuff and talking, I'm not the most. I wouldn't go as far as to despise humanity. Around the right people. Some people just grate me, regardless of how nice they are or whatnot. They just grate me. I don't want to be friends with everyone. I can be a people person, but again in the right circumstances, so yeah, I'll go with that. Question 30. Do you like video games? Yeah. Any people taking this quiz and wish they could go a step further with their desire of being a boxer, you're in luck. You may never actually hit them in the ring, but you can pretend of any of the great boxing video games that exist. You enjoy them. Yep, games of my life. No, I don't know if they're my life. I loved them, but I don't back my life. Probably is my number one hobby now, I guess, is playing games and stuff. Wrong side of 30. Playing sports is kind of on the way out. Question 31. Who is your favourite comic book superhero? That's a tough one. Punching their personal bad guys into oblivion, great boxers are basically superheroes in their own minds. Big rivals create their supervillains and climactic battles happen live on pay-per-view for all to see. Still, they aren't quite like the real deal, so who's your favourite superhero? Never heard of Black Lightning. Superman's alright. Don't know too much about Wonder Woman really. I've seen the new film, which is quite good to be fair actually. But I've always loved Spider-Man. If it was Batman on there, I'd have chosen Batman, I think. But Spider-Man out of those four for sure. Question 32. What non-boxing sports movie is your favourite? Oh, you gotta love a bit of is that Bloodsport? I thought that's the Kickboxer, isn't it? I was hoping it was going to be the Kickboxer. Boxing's great and all, but it's hardly the only sport out there. In fact, when it comes to theatrical representations, most other athletic endeavours have far more examples of greatness than competitive fighting. Can't possibly one of answers, but which of these classics is your favourite? I don't think I've ever actually seen any of these, surprisingly. Days of Thunder is the Tom Cruise one, isn't it? The Racing Driver, maybe? I've never seen it. Moneyball is a film I want to watch, but haven't got around to watching it yet. Bloodsport, if that is Bloodsport, which it might be, I thought that was Kickboxer. If it's Bloodsport, I've seen a lot of Van Damme films. Again, my mate who I want to watch the Rocky films marathon with me, he got me into Van Damme and some Steven Seagal films when I was younger. A lot of, kung fu fighting, them sort of films. So I'm going to go with Bloodsport. I'm sure I've seen that. Question 33. What type of weather do you prefer? Cold weathers? I thought that's what it was going to be. The champion boxer like Rocky Balboa or any of his fictional contemporaries, weather can never stand in the way of a good workout. If anything, battle in nature only makes for a cooler montage. Of course, it doesn't matter if you wanted to live in the snow mountains of Russia. So I like bright and sunny, but not. Yeah, I don't like hot and humid. Cool and is it locked in? It's locked in. I'll probably change it to cool and breezy, but I like bright and sunny as well. Cold and dry. No. Question 34. Do you have or want any children? Once upon a time, Mike Tyson threatened to eat Lennox's Lewis' children. That's where the quote's coming from. Forever changed the way boxers would approach the subject. Perhaps boxers already should have reconsidered reproducing how often they get punched in the head, which would affect parenting skills. Even so, do you have or want kids? Yes, I love my kids. Kid 1. Question 35. How often do you exercise? Theoretically, in order to become a great pugilist, one has to spend a significant amount of time in the gym. Believe it or not though, some people are just naturally tough and powerful, meaning they can knock opponents out regardless of how much time they spend lifting weights beforehand. Flits at the moment. Had an x-ray on my foot the other day, so at the moment, never. Before that, occasionally, and then during the summer last year, it was often. It was every day or 5 or 6 days of the week. When I'm in the zone, it's like that, and I'm hoping once this foot's sorted, I'll be getting back into that. I'm gonna go often. even when it's not in the zone, I'm still maybe going 2 or 3 times a week. So we'll go with that. So let's see our result. Which boxer could we knock out? Balrog from Street Fighter. You'd sell your boxing skills to either win a heartbeat, so you're Balrog from Street Fighter. In many respects, just a robotic fighter for M. Bison and Shalalu. For Balrog, boxing was merely training to become a feared dictator's muscle. Okay then. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be people like Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang, Drago, all those guys, all the other ones in like The Fighter and all that stuff. That's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a fictional one in Street Fighter. But I did answer the question with Street Fighter as my question, so maybe that's a big spur on that. So Balrog, yeah. So what I'll do, I'll drop a link down in the description. Please feel free to take this test yourself. Drop a like down below. Drop a comment with who you come out with as your result as well. That'd be fantastic. And if you're new to the channel, please do drop a sub to here as well. I've got a few more of these in the planning. I might even get around to recording another one right now. Not necessarily boxing related, we'll see, but we're not certainly doing the one in the background, which is going on a shopping spree. Guess your what was it? Guess your favourite Disney princess. Yeah, we won't be doing that one unless you'll put it in the comments below. Maybe I will. No, I won't. But until next time, for whatever the next quiz may be, or whatever you come back for, I'll see you later. Take care.